Hello. Welcome to the Reading Room, another time for your weekly now, which I've decided to do, mostly because I enjoy it, so I apologize for anybody out there that doesn't like the content. I'm actually liking it. So, yeah, we're going to be doing weekly AIMBOT, where you get to decide who is morally just and who is morally reprehensible, which is fantastic. I would love to see you throw in your 2 cents. People disagree with me all the time. I love it. I love to point out things and get their input. It's awesome. But welcome for yet another session. And I'm just going to get the good old Reddit front page up, the front page of the internet. And yeah, I'd like to know how everyone's doing and how everyone's going. It's really hot here. Like, it is insanely hot. I'm just going to, give me 1 second. I'm just going to throw on, 1 sec. I'm sorry. I'm just going to throw on some cool wind for my hot bod here, because wow, it's a little bit steamy this side of the camera, let me tell you. How's everybody? Yeah, I'm hot but good. Had a fantastic debate the other day. It was great. I really enjoyed it. A 4-hour debate. That's when you know you've gotten into a debate, when it's 4 hours and still going strong, and you don't even notice. You know, it's just, that is fantastic. I want to say hello to Big Bad Mama, who's out there. I want to say hello to Caterpillar if they are around. I want to say hello to Dan. I want to say hello to Hillhugger. I want to say hello to so many people. So if you are joining me, I would love it. And we can go through some situations. Hopefully they're a bit ridiculous. Last week, they were kind of sad. Like, I'm not going to lie. I kind of, most of the ones I found online, and don't forget, I don't have no idea what these are before I open them up. I'm seeing them for the first time, as are you, unless you've looked them up beforehand. And then if you have, then you're cheating. What are you doing? Seriously, that's the first time I've seen. But last week it was all, you know, I'm dying and my inheritance is being stolen. It's like, okay, that isn't the fun time I really had in mind. But we'll see what they're like this week and see if we can't get some more hilarious ones going. So give me 1 sec. I'll just get up ye old Reddit, and we'll get prepared to go. This may be a shorter stream, just a fair warning. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing this for as long. So yeah, I thank you all for joining me. Big Bad Mama says, I participated in your debate as creationist crybaby. Yes, I saw you sent in a question. Thank you, BBM. I really appreciate it. And I think it was a really good question too. It was really, really good. There are, you know, I do want to clip that debate because there are a couple of things that were kind of a bit hilarious about it, you know. And maybe I was going to get together with Beamsy, who is a geologist, and sort of do a debate review. So hopefully I can sort of get that in at some point. I wasn't feeling up to it yesterday. I apologize, but I will try to get that up and running, because a few of the things sort of, you know, one of the things that made me laugh was the way that the guy said, "Oh, nothing I've said violates any physics," and then went on to sort of say, you know, that the Earth was created before the universe, like 3 days before the universe or something. And it's like, yeah, that's not quite physics there, buddy. That was actually, I found that incredibly funny. So I really want to share that with the world. I think I got inspiration, I will say, from T-Jump, who was sort of, you know, putting together these kinds of things. So I want to give credit where credit's due for T-Jump there. Okay, and I'll give the better view so we can have a look at it. And of course, you know, I will be putting out the polls. Do feel free to vote. Please tell me why you think who is morally reprehensible and who's good. I really want to see. I want to give a big shout out to Titan Uranus, which is not only a fantastic name, but good advice. So yeah, I would follow that advice. Hello to Nanalu, who has come in saying hello to everybody. Hello, it's so good to see you. I was really looking forward to today, actually. It was just one of those weeks where I kind of was coming down with a cold or flu, and I didn't quite get there, but I just didn't feel great, you know, and I thought I would be sick for the debate on Saturday night Eastern time, but I had a couple of cold and flu tablets like the night before, and actually woke up feeling pretty good. So I was a bit spicy, which I did want to sort of lay into him a bit, because some of the stuff that he says is kind of out there. But yeah, I don't think I was out of order. I think it was a great debate. I really recommend that if you can make it through the 4 hours or so, because you know, I have to give at least credit to T-Rock, who was my opponent. T-Rock actually I think he was using one of the creationist websites, but he did have a lot of, I mean, it wasn't good information, but he was answering questions and, you know, not trying to derail it, not trying to just make the opponent mad. Just, he was debating well. I completely disagree with him, but it was a good debate. I really enjoyed it. So, you know, if you're listening, T-Rock, definitely do it again. Look, Nanalu, you'll check it out tonight, tomorrow. Look, no obligation. You know, I don't expect anybody to watch anything, and it is long. It is a 4-hour debate. So, you know, I know that's not everyone's cup of tea. I get it. That's not a problem at all. So let's go. Let's go. First post by Throwaway 987, 10 hours ago. Throwaway, you get an upvote. I might change it. Can't promise it forever, but you get an upvote for the moment. It's a preliminary upvote. And hello to Jenna, who's just joined us, the lovely and marvelous Jenna. And I owe your partner an email. I know I do. I'm so sorry, Jenna. I will get to it. Definitely. But it's so good to see you. So the first one, am I the arsehole for throwing away the expensive whiskey my brother got me for my 40th? So first thought is like, well, why would it be like, if you got a present, why is throwing it away? Like, why wouldn't you be allowed to do that? Do we need to zoom in? I think I can zoom in if you want to zoom in. Is that better? I'm 40 and male. Yes. Just turned 40 last week. Happy birthday, Throwaway. Did you make this up just to say you threw away the whiskey? If he's an alcoholic or something. Hello, Doorknob Head. Jenna, the enforcer, is here to ensure Mark sends that email. Look, I definitely will. I've just been sort of caught up and doing things at the moment. Look, Doorknob Head, you cause trouble. Every time you're in my chat, you cause trouble. I love it. It's awesome. I'm divorced and have 2 teenage kids with my ex-wife, 17 male and 14 female. Okay. My whole family came to my and my girlfriend's apartment last Saturday for my birthday party. My parents, some aunts and uncles, some cousins, my 3 brothers with their families, my 2 kids, and my girlfriend's 15-year-old son who lives with us. So that's quite a big gathering. In an apartment, parents, aunts, uncles, some cousins, 3 brothers with their family. That's either a crowded place or a big apartment. I got to say, I don't think those people would fit in my apartment, to be honest with you. Like, it's not a huge place, and I already feel a bit claustrophobic, like sort of shoved in the back room here. I am a recovered alcoholic. Okay, well, I mean, yeah, well done. No, look, anybody that is recovering alcoholic or has problems with alcohol, I have the utmost respect for. They're doing it hard. It's until I knew a few people with addiction to alcohol, I did not realize how prevalent it was. It's everywhere. Like there's adverts everywhere. It's on hats. It's on everything you look at. It you watch a game. It's all over it. Never knew how much it is out there. So well done. Sober 6 years. That's good. Alcohol absolutely ruined my life. Yeah, it definitely can do that. It destroyed my marriage and nuked my relationship with my kids for years. I don't allow alcohol in my home now for anyone. It just isn't served or tolerated here. My entire family knows this very well, as they know my entire history with alcohol. Okay. Well, that's fair enough. That is 100% fair. For my 40th, my brother bought me a very expensive bottle of whiskey. Okay. Right. That's not cool. That's not cool. I gotta say. A very heavy bottle, very old whiskey, so it probably cost him a couple of $100. Yeah, why don't you just, give cigarettes to someone trying to quit smoking as well, an ex-smoker, or why don't you go out and, get some meth for somebody who used to be a meth junkie? Why don't you do that? Look, just because it's alcohol doesn't mean that you get to say, well, I'm going to ignore your addiction and give you this thing you're addicted to. I gotta say, yeah, I agree, Big Bad Mama. At the moment, Doorknob Head says, cough syrup, that has alcohol. Bring in the firing squad. Now, I mean, you're joking, but kind of yes. I knew this guy who said that they'd been to a group therapy, and at the group therapy, when COVID was around, they had this hand sanitizer, basically. And the hand sanitizer was just one of those brands with alcohol, but it just reeked of alcohol. And it's like, to me and other people without that addiction, you just wouldn't notice. Like, you just would not notice at all. But to somebody with an addiction, that is incredibly triggering. Like, it seems like nothing if you don't have it. It is insanely. It's just something that you have to be aware of. Wilberforce says LSD is the only known drug with no chemically addictive properties. Just saying. Okay, Wilberforce. So it's got no physically addicting properties. So what we're talking about is neuroadaptation, right? So that is your receptors being adapting to the substance and expecting it. It's the physical reaction of addiction. It does not mean there is no psychological addiction. You still can get a psychological addiction, and that's behavioral. So, for instance, nicotine, it only has like a 2-week, like once you've haven't smoked for 2 weeks, it's out of your system, it's gone, and that's the neuroadaptation, that's the receptors expecting it. However, the psychological effect, you can be hooked on smoking for years afterwards. So yes, you're right, but that doesn't tell the whole story. And yeah, there are some more addictive than others. Totally acknowledge that. But just because LSD isn't physically or doesn't have neuroadaptation doesn't mean it can't be psychologically addiction. Like anything else, like people can have sort of food addictions, and they can be danger junkies and have that endorphin addiction kind of thing. Cigarettes have many addictive chemicals, not just nicotine. Well, that's true. But I believe that when I studied it, like when I was trying to quit, it was 2 weeks for that neuroadaptation to go away. When he gave me the bottle, I was shocked. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah, I'd be shocked too. I'd be shocked and appalled, and maybe a little bit Angry. I think you'd have a right to be angry. I said, I don't drink, but thanks for the gift. He then opened the bottle and started pouring shots into plastic cups for everyone. Oh, what? What are you doing? Look, there's no time limit on having an addiction. Thank you for that. Hopefully nobody needs hot girls in Yeah, I'm inclined. Wilforce says that's a shit brother. Yes, I think that's a shit brother as well. I think it's yep. My daughter had a panic attack at the smell of alcohol, which I am painfully aware is my fault, and I'd never forgive myself for it. Oh, throw away! Come on, man. You've got to forgive yourself. You've done something wrong. You have to forgive and move on. I think that's healthy. But like, you may not be able to forgive yourself yet. Like, I get you. You've done things that are wrong. We all have. We've all done things that are wrong, especially under the influence of alcohol. I get it, buddy. So I told my brother to take the alcohol out of the balcony, just leave it there. He wouldn't do it and took a shot of whiskey. Okay. Wow. I told him to seriously stop it, and he proceeded to pour the whiskey. He then said, I am acting like a sober saint now, when I ruined everyone's birthdays for years with my drinking. I told him to come to the hallway with me and talk it out. He refused and put a glass of whiskey in my hand. Whoa. Yeah, look, this is called, for anyone that's interested, a tu quo quo fallacy. It's basically, and you also. Just because you got absolutely shit-faced and ruined people's birthdays doesn't mean he has the right to as well. Wow. Look, just it's basically, tu quo quo is basically two wrongs don't make a right. That's basically it. Like, just because you've acted like a dick in the past doesn't mean your brother gets to go, well, now I get to act like a dick, including to people around you. And I might add, to your daughter, and she did nothing wrong. What's she done that's wrong? And the daughter's 14, I think. Yeah, so that's a 14-year-old girl who may have been traumatized from what this person went through. Wow. Wilforce says, this story honestly does sound more like a Lifetime movie script. I hope so. I really do. Because the last one sounded like a caution story from Days of Our Lives or something. It's My brother then stormed off and my mum followed him. She later called me demanding an apology for disrespecting my brother like that. My dad said I was being overly sensitive, and some other family members also agreed. No, they're wrong. As far as I'm concerned, I mean, that's just my opinion. They're wrong. 100% wrong. Look, you've been sober for 6 years. There isn't a time limit on recovering from addiction, in my opinion. There's just not. You can be an alcoholic for, just a couple of years, be sober for 20, go out, feel cravings, feel unsafe, feel like you're going to relapse, and that's okay. But this isn't out. This is in your home. So even if, look, I don't think he owes an explanation of why he doesn't want the alcohol in his house, but the fact that he is a recovering alcoholic or recovered, I mean, I don't think there's a time limit on recovering. And big welcome to Maya. Hello, Maya. So good to have you here. This is. I hope the gang's all here. We got to do some busting to do. Bust some people being douches. Because this brother is, come on, man. It's not your place. Come on. It's your brother's house. Well, no, it's not. It's his girlfriend's apartment. Okay. Well, they know my entire history of alcohol. Well, that's I don't. I still think they should have been a bit more sensitive. And it's your girlfriend's place, and I'd like to know what she thought. Whether she thought they were being insensitive. You know what? Yeah. So obviously the brother just wanted to drink. Oh man, yeah, he just wants to drink, and so he's going to drink regardless of how you feel about it, which is really insensitive. No, no, Madman with a box says, should I feel guilty for smoking cannabis while listening to the story? No, no, it's basically that a guy who's a recovered alcoholic, or used to be an alcoholic, his brother bought him whiskey for his birthday and sort of encouraged him to have shots and drank in front of him. So unless you're going to somebody that has quit cannabis and giving them cannabis and encouraging them to smoke it, then there's no problem there. Look, nobody is saying you can't enjoy whatever you want. Like, go for it. But if somebody is recovering from a substance, I think you should be sensitive to that. I think you should really at least try not to shove it in their face, because people see, this is the thing, people do relapse after many years. People have stopped drinking for 20 years and they've relapsed. So it's not just nothing had happened. You don't actually know that. Like, I'm sorry, you just don't. But what I will do, I will pop you out. I'm so disorganized today. I don't know what's up with me today. It's so disorganized. It's terrible. Okay. I gotta get the the voting guide. Yeah, silly. I probably, yeah, you're right. I probably should have done this before I started, but today's just been a bit like that. Bit like that. And I hope everybody is doing well. Like I said, I am hot, very hot. I think it's about, like, it was 35 yesterday. It's probably 35 again, but it feels like it anyway. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, so please don't ask me. Yeah, Maya says, if you're not sympathetic to someone in recovery, you're the asshole. That shit's hard. I have mad respect for anyone through. Yeah, totally. Nanalu says a snowstorm there. Nanalu, I'm gonna tell you something very, very private, and I have said this before, but I have never seen snow in real life. It's true. I've never seen snow. It looks pretty. Everybody I've talked to says they hate it. it's one of those things that I really would like to see before I check out, like bucket list. It is summer in Australia, yeah, so it's getting on to summer. Probably going to hit like 40 degrees in a few days, I think. So, yeah, it'd be hot. It'd be hot. Zyf says, doing well. Hope you're well, Mark, as well as the rest of the channel. Zyf, so yeah, I'm okay. I'm good. And I hope that poll's gone up. That poll's gone up. Yes. Look, I don't know. I guess it's because, look, if you've never met someone who's been recovering, you may go, hey, it's no big deal kind of thing. It's not a problem. It's not an issue. Who cares? You know, if you've met people that have been through the ringer when it comes to substance addiction, I don't take it lightly. I think that it's very difficult, and people, yes, the Wilberforce says, who is OP in the post, the poll, yeah, original poster. So it's the recovering or recovered alcoholic. Let's see what the fine folks of Reddit think. Not the arsehole. What your brother did is really cruel. Yep. Okay. It's a bizarro world. Indeed it is. Indeed it is, my poor nerves. It is a bizarro world. Okay. Anybody else's opinion on here? I'm just going backwards on what's thinking. Not the arsehole. Your brother can lingering resentment and issues about your past. Yeah, I got that too. Select username. Definitely. Well, I don't know. I don't know if he's choosing to get payback for the times the guy in recovery is you know, because he sort of said, oh, you've done it in the past, you know, gotten drunk at a party kind of thing. I'm not sure that's the case, but yeah. Yeah, and as I said, what about the young girl who she's done nothing wrong whatsoever? She's just a 14-year-old who obviously is triggered by the smell of alcohol, and I can understand that. It's rough. Yeah, so for the interests of well-being, you know, I think you do need to stand up for your own well-being, and if you are recovering from any substance, not just alcohol, any substance, if you're recovering or recovered and you feel unsafe, you've got to stand up for your well-being and say, hey, this isn't okay. I don't want to be in this situation. I don't want this. I want you to respect me having to but stay away from this stuff. And I think there's a lack of respect from the brother. Absolutely. But what do we got from the thingo? OP, not the arsehole. I'm inclined to agree, chat. I'm inclined to agree. Some people just either randomly clicking buttons or... I mean, I'd love to know if whoever said the OP is the arsehole, I'd love to know the reasoning, unless they're just sort of spiking the poll, which, you know, I mean, okay. Donkey vote, I don't care. 12%. Yeah, but it's 12% of 8 votes. Big Bad Mama, it is 12% of 8 votes, so it's just one person. It's probably Jill in the background somewhere, just you know, spiking the votes because they want to hurt me for some reason, like in the most petty way possible. Who knows? Who knows? Rage to Reason says, quitting drinking is the hardest thing I've ever done. It's the only way I can deal. I'm finding new ways tough. Look, all support. Knock, mate. You know, all support. It is rough. I've met people. It's rough. Don't underestimate it. be kind to yourself, be forgiving of yourself. Yeah. And man with a soapbox, absolutely right. Being self-aware and taking care of yourself. Yeah. And I think it's just staying out of those dangerous situations that, like this guy, he knew he was in a dangerous situation. His brother's pouring alcohol. He's in a dangerous situation. Of course he should, and if that's his girlfriend's house, then remove the dangerous situation from your home. Look, not honestly, man. I used to smoke. It was so rough to quit. I quit once, went 3 years, did it again for some reason. I don't know why. No idea why. And then quit again, and haven't smoked for 10, 11 years or so. But yeah, hard, very, very hard. I mean, I'll tell you how I quit smoking. Basically, I went cold turkey, which surprises people. Like, that is hard to do. First time I was like patches and nicotine and all kinds of stuff. And it just didn't take. I don't know why it just didn't. Yeah, I mean, I guess I did 3 years. I guess it did take eventually, but it was a lot harder with the nicotine aids that I had. It's really weird that the things that are designed to, or supposedly designed to help you quit nicotine, I found they made it a lot harder. And admittedly, that's just anecdotal evidence. That's just an anecdote, but I found that the nicotine made it harder to. Why do I let you in here? Like, seriously, what? No, I switched from cigarettes to water. Like, no joke. Every time I even felt the slightest twinge, I went and I forced myself to drink an entire glass of water. I'm not even joking. Like, every time I went, maybe I feel like, I went and drunk an entire glass of water. Every single time. And just every single time I did that. Again and again and again and again. Just over and over and over and over. It was so tough, and I mean, I peed so much, and I was almost like, flowing down the street. I was so full of water, but that's what I did, and it worked. I don't know why. I can't say it'll work for everybody. Never heard that suggestion before, I guess, just, yeah, weird stuff. Worked for me. I'll take it. Yeah, that's kind of even worse, Madman. Yeah, because that doesn't even have a filter on it. Yeah, no problem, man. No problem at all. It's great to have you with us, Nock. I always enjoy talking to you, mate. It's always great. Water is magical. Yes, it is magical. If you saw my debate on Saturday night Eastern time, then it's magical enough to create the magnetic field of the Earth. That's how magical it is. It can definitely create a magnetic field, according to my opponent. So, yes, magic. All right, let's get back to it. All right. Well, I think we all know who the arsehole is in this one, except for some dissenter in the chat who I'd love to know their rationale, but that's okay. That's all right. You're entitled to your opinion. That's the thing about morality. It's very subjective, as far as I'm concerned. I think that deserved the upvote. Yeah, I did upvote it. I throw it away, AITA duplex. What are you people making these just to post? Is that the people? There's a future swan. That's throw it away. Okay. Am I the arsehole for telling my boyfriend he needs to move? Should I think you're going to vape? Yeah, I don't know. Vape. So here's the thing. So vaping, we don't actually know the long-term effects of it. And that's just because it hasn't been around for that long. It may be fine. I don't know. Because it doesn't have a lot of the other chemicals and tar and things, short term, it's probably definitely better for your lungs and whatnot. However, it still does have chemicals that we don't 100% know the long-term effects of. So I think you've got to be cautious with vaping. It may very well be better. I mean, I'm no expert, but I probably wouldn't do it because of that reason. I wouldn't know the long-term effects at all. It just hasn't been around long enough to tell. Am I the arsehole for telling my boyfriend he needs to move? Depends on the reason, really. For context, I, 30 female, have been dating my boyfriend, the 31 male, going on a year. That's not that long. Like, that isn't that long. I suppose it is. I suppose it is a moderate amount of time, but I don't think it's like, someone you've been with for 7 years or something. When we first met, he let me know he is divorced with 3 children, 6 male, 4 female, and stepson, 8 male, that he considers his son. Okay. So he's divorced, has a few kids from the ex. That's okay. That's all right. Didn't drink at all. Had to cut down on drunk friend. Yeah, man. It's that shame spiral. The more you're ashamed of it, the more you hide. Then you get ashamed of that, and then you're ashamed for drinking, so you feel bad. So it's a vicious spiral of shame that addiction can do to people. Totally understand. Like, not. I get what you're saying. It's almost it's one of those things that you don't know about unless you've met people that have been through that ringer, through that grind, and the shame and self-denigration, and then turning to substance because it's the only thing that makes you feel better. And I knew a psychologist who sort of said, well, it almost works. Because it does work sort of short term. You feel better, that shame goes away, that whole thing, but it doesn't work. It doesn't actually fix the problem. You just can deal with it. It is a coping mechanism, and yeah, I agree, mate. I 100% agree with that. The shame is never beneficial. It's never something you should internalize, that you are a bad person for these things. You should always, or I think it's more healthy to always say, hey, this is a thing that I did, but it doesn't define me as a person. And I think that anybody who's familiar with sort of substance and addiction will understand that knock. I want to give you my 100% support, mate. You can do this, and you don't be ashamed of that kind of thing. Just know that you're trying your best, and that's enough. Like, just try your best. That's all anybody can ask of you, mate. He also let me know his situation was unique, and he was okay if I didn't want to continue dating. Okay. Him and his ex-wife, great friends. Cool. All right. They simply got married young and realized they were different people. Neither wanted to split custody, so they turned their home into a duplex. That way they could both see the kids every day, and if his son wanted to see him, he could just come over. Okay. I cannot have children, and explained he would not have more. Although it was a unique situation, he's a great guy, so I kept going. Okay. So she said, hey, I can't have kids. He said, okay, that's fine. I don't want kids, which is fair. Not everybody wants kids. I don't want kids. My wife and I don't have kids. We won't have kids. That's a choice, and I respect it. Now, into a year, he's a great guy, and I love him. However, I can't help but feel like I'm on the side of the real family. I can't help but feel I'm on the side of the real family. What does that mean? Now, on to a year, and he is still a great guy. Well, I'd hope so. And I love him. That's good. However, I can't help but feel like I'm on the side of the real family. Okay, I'm not sure I can pass that. I'm going to go on and trying to find out what that means. His ex still comes to all the holidays. The kids knock and can come in whenever. One of the kids is not really even his. Oh, red flag. But he still has open access to it. I think now we're serious. Things need to change. Oh, honey. Oh, sweetie. There is kids. I don't care that it's a stepson. It's still his kid. He raised the boy. He probably loves him just as much as his other kids. It doesn't really matter. His ex still comes to all the holidays. You know what? That's probably a good thing. Look, divorced people co-parenting is hard enough. Like, it's hard. I suggested he moves so that we can maintain a life outside of the family. Wait, so you're living in the duplex? Is this what she's saying? Like, she's living in the duplex with him? Maybe that's what she's saying. That she's living in the duplex with him on one side of the duplex, and his ex is living on the other side of the duplex with all of the kids. Suggested we can move so we can maintain a life outside of the family and he can move on. Well, he blew up and called me an arsehole for suggesting it. He said he isn't and will never be a weekend dad. Well, no, but you can get custody for a week or so, like weeks at a time. But I'm just trying to look out for us and start our family. My sister agrees I'm the arsehole since she was the one up front, but am I really? Would having him move out really be an arsehole thing? I accept my judgment. I have a lot of thinking to do. I want to be clear. I meant nothing towards his stepson, was just trying to show the bond that he has. Well, I mean, it kind of did sound like you judged him for, that's not his real son, or not even his. I do apologize. That's what you said. So this does sound like jealousy, and well, I think that he's close to his ex-family, and here's the thing: if you were moved in with him, he would have the kids over, and you would essentially be the stepmom anyway. So moving in, you've basically taken on this role as a stepmother, and maybe you didn't know that's what you were doing. Maybe you had no idea that you'd be a stepmom, even though it probably should have been self-evident, of course. But maybe you just did not think that through. But you are a stepmother, and therefore these kids, they kind of going to look at you like a mother, and maybe you need to rethink that. Maybe. Oh, a big shout out to Carol the Atheist, who is in the chat. Hello, Carol. Knox speaks and lays down the hammer. Or they think they are the real family and not the real family. Yeah, well, I mean, look, I'd understand kind of if the ex was infringing on your time and stuff, but it sounds like she's just there for I mean, how do you get along with the ex? Are you okay with the ex? Can you be friends with the ex? I mean, wouldn't it be cool if you guys could be friends and then, sort of that co-parenting with you as the stepmother and her as the actual mother? Wouldn't that be good? I don't know. Big Bad Mama disagrees. Big Bad Mama says it's the father's fault putting her in that situation. Well, I mean, look, as I always say here, context is king or queen, whichever you want, or non-gendered monarch of your choice. You did he tell her that this was the situation? If so, is it his fault? Because if he said, hey, here's the situation, he might have thought he made it sort of perfectly clear that hey, all this shenanigan, like my ex is going to be knocking on the door. She might not have thought that. Like she might not have thought, oh yeah, they're going to be off with a barrier in between us and will not be in my life at all. So yeah, I'm not sure it's the father's fault, but I'm not sure it's her fault either. This is the moral ambiguity, if I like. From a secular humanist standpoint, I think I've got to go down on the side of, well, if you can get along with her, it's best for the well-being of the kids and probably your own well-being and your husband's well-being if you can be a family with them, because you are technically a stepmother, even though it's just your boyfriend. I'm presuming you'll want to get married and stuff. It sounds like you really like this guy, but you're not sure of the commitment to his ex-family, like his actual biological children and his stepson. And that's okay. Like, I get it. It's just, it sounds like you want him without that, and you can't have him without that because that is sort of a package deal. Like I think that the OP just doesn't understand the situation. Just didn't. Oh, yeah, no, totally. No, I get you. But I mean, it's been a year and he's been upfront about the situation. So, what do you do then? If he's, like, I think maybe the husband or the boyfriend overreacted a little by saying you're an arsehole for asking me to move. I think the poster overreacted by saying, hey, we've got to move. So, what I see this as, and don't get me wrong, B-Bama, you're entitled to absolutely disagree with me all you want. In fact, please do. Please disagree with me. And it's a fair rationale. However, when you make ultimatums, right, so you kind of, you can't force anybody to do anything. So, maybe going to him and saying, hey, I'm not happy about this situation. Is there something we can do and discuss it? Is better than going to him and going, I demand you move because of my issue with this. That isn't really a good way to address the situation. It's basically telling somebody what to do rather than telling them your feelings on the situation and discussing how you can resolve those feelings. So that kind of going to someone and saying, hey, I feel like this, so you should do that. It's always going to provoke sort of a fight, or a lot of the time going to provoke a fight because you're not consulting with somebody, you're ordering them. So no, we're not attacking Big Bad Mama. Yeah, absolutely. We can all disagree and still be, completely cool with each other. You know I love you, Big Bad Mama. You know that. You know that. And look, morality is one of the most complex things in human history. It just is. and different people will have different ideas. Absolutely. That is all fantastic. You know what? Why doesn't YouTube remember the polling answers from the last one? Can I ask that? Is there a way I can do it like a standard poll instead of having to do this every single damn time? YouTube not optimized. There's news. There's something you didn't know. There's something you didn't know. Now you all know. Now you know. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And I love you all as well. I'm so happy you're here with me. You know, I don't know about you people. I really enjoy these streams. I love doing them. I love chatting with people. I love the situations. I love everybody in them. I actually enjoy them. I think I'd be doing this if it was just, just one random person listening to me, or just doing them by myself with no one listening. Just shouting out to the void like, no, this guy's the asshole because morally, they should have considered people's feelings. Ah! Yes, more. Yeah, so get out your high horse and tip your fedora. We're going virtue signaling. Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing. Oh, and speaking of wonderful people, hello, Caterpillar. They are a wonderful person. Caterpillar, you're amazing. And I'll look. yeah, that's kind of what we thought, right? That's yeah. Not necessarily, but yeah, that was a red flag for me. One of the kids not really his. Yeah, that was kind of a red flag for me. Sure, that's a yeah. It's stuff like that that's kind of oof. You sure you want to put that in your post? I suppose it's you're the asshole. It doesn't matter what his reasoning is. Doesn't matter how wacky it sounds to you. He was upfront with your situation. You agreed to at the time. Yeah, I suppose it'd be understandable if this were a case of I underestimated how difficult the arrangement would be for me, so I shared feelings with him and told him it was ultimately. What is going on? I am agreeing with Reddit so much. Is that a red flag for me? Is that should I be agreeing with this with Reddit? Ugh. Lord help me. I'm agreeing with the Redditors. It's a sad day. Sad day. There are a lot of red flags in your post. Who is this reading my mind? SLG 1993. Reading my mind. Quite a bit forced move. But telling him he needs to move. Yes. This participant gets it. They get it. There was a great news. He was a great guy, so I kept going. Yeah, he's a great guy. Yeah, no, I get that. He is a great guy. People, he's a great guy. All right, just be aware. Yeah. If he was doing all this and there was just that kid, it'd be a little weird. But the whole fam, how do you leave out that kid? He's the brother of your kids. They might bring it up. Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. I don't think. Yeah. Who says he's a great guy? The poster says he's a great guy. Look, causing trouble again. He is still a great guy. Not only was he a great guy, he is still a great guy. Poster says, must be true. Come on, you don't get like 4 kids without being a great guy, right? 3 kids without being a great guy. Yes, it does have sitcom written all over it. Absolutely, yeah. That's why we're here. That's what we're doing. Absolutely, it's got sitcom. Most of these have sitcom written all over them, actually. One day I'm gonna have a situation. I'm gonna write something in, but today is not that day. Today is not that day. Well, he was great at one thing, maybe. Well, yes, the man is virile. I'll give him that. Yes. No, BBM, the poster, the OP is saying he's a great guy. The problem is the poster sounds like they want the great guy without the great guy's kids. And if you know anything about great guys, their kids are kind of like a package deal. I mean, if he was a douchebag, he probably wouldn't be so invested in the kids, but it's because he's a great guy that he still wants to take care of his kids from the previous marriage. How are we going on the poll? Oh, big vote for everyone sucks here. Okay. Well, that's yeah, well, I think his thing was like, well, if I move on, I'm just going to be a weekend dad, which I kind of think that's not necessarily the case, but obviously it's what he wants. I mean, he doesn't have to explain what he wants. And a big shout out to Hill Hugger. I think I shouted you out earlier, Hill Hugger, but I'm going to give you a second one just because it's you. Just because it's you, mate. Oh, I have a stream when I'm over this floor, and I'd like you to be part of it. I'll email you. The Supreme Court will be ruling whether white parents can adopt native children. That's an easy to consider topic that has no snags. Whether the parents want it or not. I'm not sure I'm qualified for that one, mate, but I'm happy to. I'm happy to. So, like, yeah, I'm sorry, Megan, and a big shout out to Megan. Amazing. They are 2 hours through a ridiculously long debate. I regret nothing. I regret nothing. That was a 4-hour debate, and I don't regret a second. I enjoyed myself. I thought it was a good debate. Yeah, good debate. Future Swan. I like their name, Future Swan. They're just an ugly duckling now, but in the future, they'll be a wonderful swan. Am I the asshole for not making my children be quiet while my wife had a headache? No. Oh, was it a migraine? Okay, you ready for this chat? Buckle up. Buckle up. Get your moral standard out. Buckle up. Been with my wife for 2 years. I have 2 children from a previous relationship who are 5 and 8. Currently 7 months pregnant. Been married and living together for 5 months. It's been an adoption for everyone, mostly the children. What, your wife's 7 months pregnant or you're 7 months pregnant? I mean, I'm good with it either way. Someone's 7 months pregnant. We don't know who. It's just some random person is 7 months pregnant. Currently 7 months pregnant. I mean, I'm assuming it's not one of the two children who's 7 months pregnant. It is a bold assumption, but I'll commit to it. During our relationship, even before living together, I knew my wife got the occasional headache. She takes painkillers but says they don't help, so she'll usually spend the day in our bedroom and sleep. I presume that's asleep, and sleep. Oh no, she'll usually spend the day in our bedroom and sleep. No, that's right. Kids are home and wife has a headache. I'm working from home. Kids are doing what they normally do, playing. Wife texts me asking them to keep them from making so much noise. I was in a meeting. Why is it always these things are work from home meetings? We had one last week as well. I was in a meeting when she texted, so I didn't actually look at it till an hour later. Well, I think we've got to stop assuming that your career is going to be sunk if you just say, hey, 1 second, I've got something to do at your work from home meeting. I think we've got to stop assuming that. Like going, well, if I take 2 seconds out of the meeting, I'm going to lose my job. I get that it's important. She's upset, but the way I see it, it's the children's home. They're playing. What am I meant to say? My wife has a headache, go read a book? I don't think I'm the asshole wife does. Figure I'd ask here. Yeah, if she needs painkillers, then it's probably a migraine. Like if she gets the occasional headache, and people that have to go to their bedrooms and sleep when they get a headache. And I'm thankful I don't get migraines. I had partners before that have migraines, and they do not do well. Yeah, I'm kind of, and the fact that you won't, like, I'm assuming it's the wife that's pregnant, and it's really weird because people won't take the time out of their meetings to go and do it. And I get that meetings are important, but nobody ever got to the end of their life and went, I wish I'd stayed in more meetings, right? Nobody ever got to the end of their life and saying, I really wish that I spent more time in meetings. I was listening to something about this the other day. They surveyed things that people regret before dying. Why do my streams always turn to death and destruction? What's going on? What's going on here? Anyway. Yeah, so it was a blog post in 2009, Regrets of the Dying. The blog post was widely shared, won by 2012 at 8 million viewers. Top 5 regrets of nearing death. I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. I wish I hadn't worked so hard. I wish I'd had the courage to express my feelings. I wish I had stayed in touch with my friends. I wish that I had let myself be happier. So those are the things that most people had sort of, they surveyed basically palliative care, so people that were going to die. And that's their top regrets, which I think is fascinating. It isn't the things that you consider important when you're alive and doing things. And as I said, I don't think anybody's gotten to the end of their thing and said, oh, well, I wish I'd stayed in that meeting. But, wishing that you had been more loving and closer to your partner, that's maybe something you might regret. Or, I wish I had had a better relationship with my family. It might be something you regret. Migraines are a bitch. My brother would be in so much pain. He would get nosebleeds. Like if you hurt so bad your nose is bleeding, the kids better be quiet. Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. I really am. It is rough on the kids. You might want to like encourage them and reward them instead of just, yelling at them or something. You might want to say, hey, if you can keep quiet for mummy, we'll give you a treat afterwards. And then they will get the idea of effort and reward kind of thing, or if you can stay quiet, then tonight we will play whatever your favorite game is kind of thing. Something to let them know that they are appreciated when they do care for other people, and sort of explain to them why being quiet is horrible. I think that maybe they're just not taking the time, and he's not taking the time to explain to his kids why they need the kids to be quiet. And Big Bad Mama is savage as ever. And no, this guy is a weak noob. Weak. Oh, hello, Richard. Welcome to the stream, mate. It's the third episode, and always better when you're here, mate. Good to see you. Much love. Look, don't hassle. Look, I'm not looking up politics. I'm looking up life advice from Wikipedia. How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? I'm looking up life advice from Wikipedia. So, it must be 100% reliable then, I'm sure. I'm 100% sure. How dare you? Did I do the poll for this one? Did I poll this? Wow. The professional streams are coming out now. I don't think I polled this. I think I'm a shocker. No, I didn't poll this. Okay, I'm going to blame you guys. You guys did not tell me that I hadn't polled this. I'm 100% blaming all of you. 100%. Who can I pick on? I think I'll pick on Doorknob Head. Doorknob Head, it's your job to tell me. I haven't polled this, so it's your fault. There's got to be a better way to do this, right? If anyone knows a better way to do this, just give me a message or something, seriously. I'm kind of over this YouTube polling. It's really sucky. Thanks, Richard. Yeah, cheers. Yep. Thank you. Look, I wouldn't cite Wikipedia like as a reference. Like I wouldn't say, hey, but to get quick information, like if I'm looking up who's in a film, it's fine. What? Like seriously, it's good to see you. It really is. Original poster. So whoever is, it's from original poster is the perspective of the person typing this out, kind of thing. Just asking what OP is. Yeah. So original poster is the person making the post. Obviously, there's more people involved. You can nominate everybody as being to blame. You can nominate them to be to blame. No one to be to blame. Usually, if you're saying the OP isn't the arsehole, you're usually inferring that the other person, the person that they're talking about is, or the persons they're talking about is. So. My wife has a headache. Go and read the book. Yes, that's exactly what you should say. Yeah, Forsaken program, you got a point. You got a point. It's not going to hurt your kids to read. I mean, they're 5 and 8. They're 5 and 8. Was anyone not reading at 5 and 8? I mean, they're in primary school. I'm not sure what the American version of primary school is, but or elementary school maybe is what you call. I don't know, but they should be reading. Thanks for the award. This is completely exploded. Yeah, I should be upvoting you. How do I give an award? You know what? I'm bad with Reddit. I got to admit, I have not really been on here this much. You can blame me. That's fine. That's fine. You know, I'm going to figure that out later. It looks complicated. I've written several Wikipedia. Oh, that is frightening. That is frightening. That is frightening. Absolutely. You're the asshole. Not seeing the text for an hour is acceptable. Refusing to teach your kids empathy makes you the asshole. You shouldn't be angry that fail, but show to. Yeah, I'm kind of, look, I know that parenting is harder than just saying, hey, teach them empathy, easiest thing in the world. I get that that's not as easy as it sounds, but parenting in general isn't easy. Yeah. Looks like Reddit's on my side. I'm really worried that I'm agreeing with Reddit. That worries me. Looks like the internet has spoken. They're pretty conclusively against you, poster. Hello, Buster Jangle. Hello. So I know where that avatar is from. It's from a series called Dr. Katz. And it basically has a whole load of comedians in the series doing routines as patients of a psychiatrist. It's actually a really funny show. And the only reason I know about it is because my wife absolutely loves it. She loves it. Yeah, Ben, who's voiced by Benjamin something. I can't remember his name. He does so much voice work. He's great. Yeah, no, that's a good show. I'm 100% in support of that, Buster. 100%. Okay. How's me old poll doing? Okay. Okay. No one's the asshole. Nobody. Everyone's fine. Is that where we're coming down? No. The people have spoken. The people have spoken. No one's an asshole. Okay. I don't know. I kind of think someone really is somewhere. I think I would disagree. I think that the post has been a bit of an ass, but you know, Deckle, fair enough. That's cool. I'd love to know your reason. Is somebody who voted that? What's your reasoning for that though? Nobody's an asshole. Because she's obviously upset that she had a headache and the kids were still making noise for an hour. I'd love to hear your rationale on that one. I'm 54 and just found out that people do something called reading. Sounds like oppression of children so far. What? Okay. Well, it looks like we've got ourselves a reader. Read by name, read by nature. Sorry, Richard. It's in the name. It's in the name. All right. First ear. First ear. First. Do you have a first ear? Does one ear develop first? Am I the arsehole for refusing to buy? Misspelling. You're the arsehole. Misspelt word. My husband an expensive. That's fine. It's a homonym. That's fine. Buy my husband an expensive car, even though I have the money. I don't think so. Let's have a look. It's been an hour and 15 already. What are you people doing encouraging me? Why are you doing this? It's no, I love you all. It's fantastic. For me, it was people just being people. She was pregnant, needed quiet. Well, I think the dad should have helped her out. Being a pushover with your doesn't make you an asshole. Okay, yeah. I suppose that, like, not getting your kids to be. It's pretty lightweight. I get what you're saying, and I'm still gonna go down on the post of being an asshole though. I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one. Not. My husband, male 35, and I, female 30, have been married for the past 10 years. Oh, that's cool. And we have 5 amazing daughters together. Because of that, I dropped out of college and have been a stay-at-home mom for the past 10 years. We had our oldest daughter. My husband... Look, I don't know how you guys pronounce mum, like whether it's mom. Because we say mum and it's M-U-M, right? So it's M-U-M and we just say mum. But you guys have M-O-M and it's weird and kind of odd. Mom. Mum? Mom. My husband is the breadwinner and I take care of all the chores and childcare. Okay. While my husband earns quite a bit of money, which allows us to live comfortably, he is also obsessed with budgeting. Thus, I typically only have enough for household expenses. Well, that's a bit weird. I suppose, budgeting isn't a bad thing. If he's obsessed with it, maybe that's a bad thing. I think that you can sort of maintain a budget and keep money aside for like slightly frivolous things. That's okay. For the past 5 years, I have been working on a series of books. That's cool. I've been writing everywhere I could, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, and while I sacrificed a lot of sleep, I have managed to finish my series, unbeknownst to my husband. I kept it a secret because he always considered it a waste of time. What the hell? Yeah, we knew this already. Beamsy, everybody knew this, all right? You're not telling anybody anything they don't know. That's self-evident, sir. Look, my wife is a writer and she may never sell anything or have anything happening. I'm happy that she enjoys writing. I think it's wonderful. She may have just been writing it for herself. Who is the husband to say? It was tough, but I managed to get an agent and was incredibly lucky to get a deal my series published. Congratulations. That is amazing. That is such a hard thing to do. Like, seriously, getting published by a publishing company is insanely difficult. And when they told me how big my advance would be, I almost fainted. It's much more than I expected. It's in higher 5 digits. Yeah, sure. Yeah. A good series, they will pay an advance like that. Absolutely. Absolutely. But congratulations, you worked hard for it, and it was tough, and you managed to do it. I haven't told my husband yet. Look, already there's a problem with this relationship where you can't tell your husband that one of the most amazing things that has ever happened to you in your life has occurred, and you can't tell him because you're afraid of how he will react. That's a problem there. Mom. Okay. No, I get you. Mom. God. I haven't told my husband I have to borrow money from my sister to get an accountant. Ideally, I want that money saved up should something happen, because I honestly don't know the details of our home finances or for our kids' future. Whatever will be needed, plus I'd love to have some spending money without asking my husband, Greg. You have to ask him for spending money? Seriously? Look, okay, this is just my opinion, but if you're even if you're a stay-at-home mom and you're just doing chores and you're just taking care of the house and your husband is the one that works, you should never have to have an allowance that you have to ask for. Like, what kind of situation is that? They've been married 10 years. Like, I don't. You should be sharing your finances. However, Greg, look, I got to admit, I'm not liking Greg. I dislike Greg. Greg's a bit of a dick right now to me. I'm sorry. He just is. Like, seriously. Greg found my contract and is now demanding I get him a new car for Christmas. A very expensive new car, which would cost the majority of my advance. Look, Greg, you don't understand what an advance is. It's basically a payment up front for the work you are to do in the future. It's not you've won the lotto. It's supposed to sustain you over the time it takes you to write whatever they've required for that advance. I politely refused, saying that he didn't need a car that expensive and that money was supposed to be saved up. Yes, I tried to explain my position, but he wouldn't have it. What? He wouldn't have it. No, I'm the man. I get to decide where your money goes. Greg's a dick. He basically called me an arsehole without using the word. Okay, so he's like, what should buy your husband things when they've got money? I've supported you all. Blah, blah. Greg, you're a dick. He said that because he supported me all these years, I owe him. And without him and his money, I wouldn't be where I am now. Wow. You think it's a deep fake? I don't believe this story is even real. I don't know. It's hard to tell, right? Because there are people out there like this. I'm really sorry, BBM. I know it's horrible, but there are those people out there. Maybe. How do we tell, I guess? I think maybe I'm prepared to give people the benefit of the doubt that they're writing they're taking the time to write it. Give them the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, and someone mentioned earlier that it sounds like a Christian home. Yeah, Knox at it. Sounds like Christian home. Yeah, there are some, and it's not exclusively Christian homes. There's Islamic homes as well, and even atheistic or secular homes that the man feels like he should be the one, or he ought to be the one in charge of the finances. I don't know why. It's such an outdated, archaic, and stupid thing to think, but there are people like that out there. Wish there wasn't, but there are. Oh, I'm so sorry, Megan. That sucks. But yeah, they are out there. They're running around and they vote. There's another thing you can think about. Or maybe they vote, actually. Maybe they don't. Who knows? He told me that I'd either buy him a car or have to start paying household expenses half and half. The thing is, I would still be a stay-at-home mum. I don't know if my books will be a success. For all I know, this will be the only money I ever get from my book deal because it'll flop. No. I don't get why somebody would put up a fake thing on here. I mean, yeah, mind you, there's a lot of things that people do that I don't get. So I suppose. Well, you're going to get a poll anyway, so enjoy. I know you're 5 years, I don't understand. 10-year marriage. So Cyclonic Havoc thinks it's probably real. Not the asshole. Yeah, so often what they'll do is they'll ask for a certain amount to put a series out, and if the first one flops, then it has like an exclusion clause in the contract. So they'll basically say, hey, we don't have to take you up for the entire series. That is how some publishing companies work. It depends on the company. They do work a bit differently. And I only know this because my wife has gone through trying to get published. And she actually has books out that she published through smaller publishing companies and self-published, which is like, I'm really proud of her. She is an excellent writer. She's got a degree in writing, and she is really good. Yeah, so this brings up the question, and the question is not about new dating online. That is not the question. But it's great to know that the bots found us. They're after us. Yes, yeah, so thanks for that. Thanks for that, Sexbot. That's awesome. Is this abuse? Is this abuse? And I would say yes. It is a form of financial abuse. It is spousal abuse, because that can be physical abuse, that can be mental abuse, it can be sexual abuse, it can be financial abuse, where you basically manipulate somebody into something by controlling their finances. Look, when I was young, like you would think, who would do this? This sounds fake, right? This doesn't sound real. When I was a kid, my what would she have been? She would have been my aunt-in-law, so my mother's brother's wife. Mother's brother's wife. Yes. So my and we kept contact after she divorced my uncle, right? So she was around and she got remarried. and the guy she married didn't like her smiling. He had problems with her smiling. And you'd think, oh, that nobody would ever do that. Yeah, these people are out there. There's something really, really horrible. There is an earning gap, but the wage gap is closer to 1-3%. Okay, so let's talk about the earning gap. So yes, women and men get paid for the same job. Get that. The problem that we sort of say the wage gap is in is because a lot of things like CEO positions and very high level positions are held still by a lot of men. And I've met people sort of saying, hey, women can't be CEOs, they can't handle it and stuff, just ridiculous stuff like that. And there's sort of disparities among many things, like there's more nurses than male nurses, there's more of this thing than male. But really what we're talking about is sort of in corporate sort of places, the top is still male dominated, where all the real big money is. So it's not necessarily that they're not getting paid the same for the same job, but there's a ton more men in CEO positions than there are women for no reason whatsoever. Like there's no reason why women can't do the same job. It's just a leftover from the sort of really patriarchal corporate sort of thing that used to be around, and that's changing. It's not like it's going to stay that way. It is changing slowly, but there still is that disparity. So I'm aware people get paid the same for the same job, but there is this section of CEOs and very high wage earners that is almost exclusively men. Yeah, but unfortunately, so promotion through companies, a lot of the time, unfortunately, it's not based upon merit, and it's more based upon who you know. So I'm not saying all companies are like that. I'm not saying that that's how it happens all the time, but a lot of the time it is who you know and who you have associations with, regardless of your actual performance. So there can be a problem with people who, like, men basically making it so they are the ones to advance within the ranks. It is a problem. It is changing slowly. I'm not saying it isn't. It is changing slowly. The idea that men and women are being paid differently for the same job is not necessarily true. However, there is a disparity that is there that I think needs to be addressed. Okay, where's my poll? Okay, so this is fake and I hate it. So just ignore everything. If you have a monitor, how dare you, Richard? If you have a monitor computer, you get to vote twice on YouTube. How dare you? Okay, democracy is broken, people. You heard it here first. You heard it here first. Democracy. Richard broke the democracy. Richard, how dare you break democracy? And apparently you're not the only one, Buster. Tell that to a nurse. Tell that to a nurse. Good luck. You've seen what nurses do. You would never say that. Like, talk to an emergency nurse. Talk to a mental health care nurse. See how easy that job is. Good luck. Sorry to disagree with you, but mental health care nurses work insanely hard, and it is a hard job. Almost, I don't know how they do those jobs, quite frankly. I have no idea. I can just talk to a mom. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's being a mother is not an easy job. It's a lot of responsibility, a lot of stress, a lot of work. It's not easy. It's not. Am I the arsehole for stealing my sister's baby name? So this is where we landed, everybody. This is where we landed. Do we need to read this? I mean, we can tell what's happened, right? Caroline. You seem like the type of person, just that name. I feel like it's the type of person to steal a baby name. Yep. Guilty already. That's it. We don't have to look at this one. But I am a sucker for punishment. My daughter makes twice what her male co-workers make. She puts more into it than them. Try laying bricks. Okay, so when I worked at an internet company for many years, I used to work in the complaints department for a section of time. And most of the people in there were women. Like, laying bricks is physically hard. I get that. And sort of, I've worked on site before. My dad was an electrician. I get you. It's definitely a hard job. But if you do complaint customer service for a telecommunications company, you will find out what a hard job is. Take my word for it. You will find out the meaning of the words mental fortitude. Like the team that I was on, we would find the worst complaints and the worst situations and call them up to see if we could fix the problem. And these are people that have called in a dozen times to the internet company. Their service isn't working. They may have been overcharged, just the most horrible stuff happening. Then you have to get on the phone, call them, find out what the problem is and fix it, and listen to these people and their complaint and, sort of see what you can do to help them. Find a resolution, whatever that may be. That's a hard job. I'll give you the tip. A lot of people would not be able to do that job at all, because you have to call insanely angry people every day and see if you can come up with something to make them less angry. Insane. The stuff that I ran into, the things I was called, was insane. Like, you think chat's mean to me? No. Chat's fine to me. Chat's almost polite to me. It was calling up these people and saying, hey, I know your internet's been off for 2 weeks now. I'm going to see if I can fix the problem. Yeah, that was a time. That was a time. And look, we had people just crash out of that team. Like, just I mean, I'm not trying to make it sound that bad, but you would see somebody lose their shit. Like, just lose their shit. They'd been doing it for 4 or 5 months, and just a dude would just throw his headset and go. It was, the women were actually better at it, But in insane stuff, like just insane. Look, one of the weirdest calls, I'll share with you, if you want, one of the weirdest calls I ever got, like when I was talking to somebody with a complaint. Do you want to hear it? Quick. Background, one of the weirdest calls that I've ever had to discuss with a customer, if you want it. Hear the abuse? Well, yeah, but that's, I mean, but telemarketers is a bit different, right? Like, you know, that's really unsolicited. When you've got a current complaint with a company, it's not really unsolicited. Okay, all right. Yes, people, the people have spoken. My people have spoken. Okay, so I call this customer, and she is absolutely pissed. Like, I mean, like, as we say in Australia, ropeable. Like, she is threatening to call the CEO, get lawyers, get people, and I'm trying to find out what the situation is while reading the notes, and had something to do with a substation. Now, a substation or an like sub exchange is like a place where the lines go through and then they branch out to different places, usually in the country and places like that. It's a very small telephone exchange. This was back in the dark medieval days where we used to have like copper lines and stuff instead of fiber optic that we've got now. So back in the medieval times, back in the day. So I'm talking to her and saying, oh, so I understand that technicians are like going onto your property or something. I'm trying to find out what her problem is. So she's like, okay, I'm not going to do what she did, but she's like, they keep going onto her property to take a shit because the toilet isn't working in the sub-exchange building. So our technicians would jump her fence and take a crap on like where she walks her dogs kind of thing. And apparently it was happening so often that she had just lost her shit, like just lost it completely. Just absolutely lost the plot. Because there was human fecal matter where she was walking her dogs. There is no situation where you are going to have a good conversation out of that. There is no outcome that she goes away happy. There is only, I am so sorry. I will get on that. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to call up that area director, find out where the thing is. Oh, like seriously, but people in that state trying to reason with them, and so here's the trick. She isn't angry at me. I didn't take a dump in her yard. I didn't take a dump, you know, where she walks her dogs. Wasn't me. I didn't do that. I didn't take a dump on her property. It was the technicians that did. So it was my responsibility to fix it, but I'm not to blame. I don't take the blame, but I do take the responsibility, and that's the big difference. That's the big takeaway. But that was one of the weirdest conversations I've ever had. And it basically all that needed to do was to fix a toilet. That's it. That's it. All they needed to do was get a plumber in and fix a toilet. That's all. That's all. But the bureaucracy of some of these companies means that you can't just get this stuff done unless somebody gets on the phone. And that was my job for a while. Yes. No, Beamsy, yeah, so 20 minutes commensurate. Yeah, taking them to police. I presume you mean the fecal. Yes, technically we could have DNA sampled it and find out. But see, it's not the technician's fault either. They're just doing their job. They're sent out to an exchange station. They've got no choice. They have to go. That's their job. What are they supposed to do? It's yeah, it's kind of a rough situation for them. That usually there's a toilet working there. It just wasn't. Okay. I'm getting way off topic. Way off topic. Yes, but weird conversations. Weird conversations. And I did that for years. That's a hard job. Sorry, what? I'm not minimizing bricklaying, mate. That is a hard job. It's mentally horrendous on you. Especially when you're like, hey, this customer's got a point and that's really horrible, and hey, the company kind of fucked them over there. You really want to say, hey, I completely and utterly agree with you, and here's how we're going to fix it. Okay, I am 30 females, am 5 months pregnant with my first child. My sister Annie, who's 24 females, is also pregnant with her second child. My husband and I have been struggling with infertility for some time, so when I found out I was pregnant, I decided to wait until I was 3 months along before telling anyone in case I lost that. Oh, that's so sad. Yeah, that's fair. Luckily, our daughter seems to be perfectly healthy, and my husband and I are excited to be parents for the first time after trying to convince for so long. I believe you mean conceive, but, close enough, I guess. The only problem is my sister Annie. My sister got pregnant a few weeks after I told my family about my pregnancy, and I was happy that our kids would get to be so close growing up. So my husband and I were thinking of baby names, and we both like the name Molly, which happens to be my grandmother's middle name. Okay. My mom recently threw my sister and I a baby shower. We had a joint one where I told her, Molly. No, fine. Where what is she, a flapper girl? No, it's fine. Where I told her what we were planning to name our daughter. She seemed surprised and told me that Annie was going to use that name. I told my mum that it was unfortunate, but Annie had plenty of time to come up with another name. She begged me to pick another name since Annie had her heart set on Molly. Well, I didn't know. I'm a teacher for 15 years, that's one. Are you Jill? We have a no Jill policy here, right? Girls are doing batter in school, hey? I told my mum that I wouldn't budge and ended up leaving the party early in order to avoid causing a scene. After the party, my sister called me and yelled at me for trying to steal a name that knew I meant a lot to her. She's very close to her grandparents. I suggested Annie could use one of the other names that start with them, like Millie, Miriam, Melanie, etc. You know what? I like that more than Molly, to be honest with you, but, that's just me. After that, Annie and I decided to meet up to lunch to talk things over, but things got heated when I refused to change what I was going to call my daughter. Annie cussed at me and left the restaurant, which I thought was immature. Am I the asshole? Annie named her first daughter Jessica, so she could have used Molly if it was that important. These are edits. These are things that are important to the situation, so they're edited in. Annie is welcome to also use the name Molly. I just won't change my daughter's name. I've been calling her Molly for months now. I only suggested Annie should change her baby's name in response to mom telling me I should change my daughter's name. What, has the baby been born? Or is it the baby in her pregnant belly? Okay. I wasn't aware that she planned to use the name Molly until told me the baby shower. She doesn't know the sex yet, so I assume she'd be waiting until then to decide on the name. I also assume she'd use Joyce and Hannah after our man if she had a girl. Okay. Plenty of disgusting people here wishing death upon my unborn baby. What? Why? Why? Yeah, what? You do sound a lot like Jill. Are you Jill? Are you Jill? Look, if you're Jill, you got to tell us. It's a law. Oh, no worries, not. Get better soon, mate. really good. Send me that email, man. I'm more than happy to come in if you feel up to it. Like, yeah, all good, buddy. All good. Oh, yeah, Wesley, you know you can't come in here and preach, man. You know that. You've known that for a while now, mate. So I'm happy to have you here. We're going through these posts. Please, Wesley, this isn't the one for preaching. We're looking at these situations. So I'm sorry, mate. If you keep this up, I'm afraid I'm going to have to mute you. I'm really sorry, but that's just the way it is, buddy. I really can't have it going on. Oh, and a big shout out to Randolph. Hello, Randolph. I'm not going for much longer. Wow, I'm way over. I'm like 150. Okay, well, all right, Wesley. Sorry, mate. Sorry, buddy. I won't block you. I'll just put you in timeout. Just in timeout. Think about what you did. Have a think. You're going to go back there if you keep it up. You know exactly what we're talking about, mate. We've talked about it plenty of times. But hey, good to see you, Wesley. Good that you're around, mate. I hope you're well. I hope you're really well. What are the people? What is the Redditors saying about this one? I got to be honest with you. I don't think it's a problem. I think that both kids can be called Molly. I mean, personally, I hate the name. I really do. I think it sounds like you're describing heroin or something. But both of them can use the name. That's fine. I don't get this whole thing of I've got to have a unique name. I get that sometimes it's confusing, but you're grown ass adults. You can figure it out. Like, seriously, you can give one a nickname or both a nickname even, and it'll be fine. It's not the catastrophe that you're imagining it to be. Oh, so he's saying everyone sucks now. Pick a different name. I don't think she begged me to pick another name. Did she tell her sister to pick another name? She didn't actually say that. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, aggravating start? She didn't tell her to pick another name. She just said she wasn't going to change that name. What are you talking about? You don't read. Yeah, I'm putting a downvote on you. You deserve that. You 100% deserve that. Oh, this will definitely be the last one as well. I planned on going an hour and a half. It's now coming up to 2 hours. So I love you all, but this will be the last one. Oof, a lot of posts on this one. Okay. Oof. Okay. So I'm just watching the chat. It's an interesting conversation. I don't know what is sounding more and more like Jill the more I'm looking at them. It's very strange. I mean, it would be weird. It would be weird if this guy's like randomly coming in and pretending to be somebody else. I mean, it's kind of odd. Then again, I mean, Jill will do Jill things. Let's face it. I didn't catch. I think Jefferson Spatchcock had something about him, and I didn't catch it because I really don't pay attention to him. But he had something on the intellectual the intellectual machine That is Jill. No car sarcasm. Oh, is it? Well, looks like I'm showing my ignorance. So it isn't heroin. Is it? Is it? Oh, okay. Yeah, it is MDMA. You're absolutely right. Oh, there you go. Showing my ignorance. I've learned something new today. That's great. So we're in an argument about Karl Marx because of baby names. Is that what we're doing? Hey, Trustee Abe, it's good to see you. And yeah. No, Jill was telling me the other day that he had a master's in education. So an education degree with a master's. Yeah, that is ecstasy, Buster. So, if you want credible evidence of why the American education system is busted, Jill apparently has a master's in education. Not sure if that's true or not, but it's certainly what he's going around claiming. So there you go. Yeah, Megan. Yeah, you fit right in with my chat. That is the only reason my chat is here. That's the only reason. It's just to give me shit. That's basically it. That's basically it. Oh, no, not that one. He's gone. So what? If you wanna hang around, just be not Jill, because Jill's just a piece of trash. So yeah, please don't be Jill. I don't know. I'm not convinced. I might leave it in the hands of Titan Uranus, who is the master mod, the amazing Titan Uranus, who is the mod extraordinaire. Yeah, well, for this one, I think that I think not the arsehole, to be honest with you. I think that the person who is like her sister, like, no one's got a monopoly on names. It's just like, why would you say, hey, I want that name? It's just a name. Just get over it. Ugh. Excuse me? How dare you? How dare you? Who's making all the noise? A bunch of galahs. Yeah. How would you explain a galah to somebody? It's a really big parrot, like a cockatoo. Do the US have cockatoos? Can someone give me the cockatoo sitch in the US? The sitch on cockatoos? That's cockatoos, not cockatiels. I know you have cockatiels, not cockatoos. Have I said cock way too often this stream? I think I have. I think I'm losing my mind. I've been streaming for a couple of hours, so I think I'm losing my mind. Cock. And I probably need something to eat. I think my brain is breaking down. Yeah, same. I don't understand people who say there's no racism or sexism anywhere. It kind of is that one thing that is like, I think Lindsay Ellis described it best when she said that colonialism is baked into every society on earth. And if you don't understand that, then you don't understand what colonialism was. You just don't understand. It's a thing. And I think we need to teach people more about colonialism, what it meant, what it did, and how it affected societies now. because it still does. It still does this imperialism of countries like England, the Netherlands, Spain, and France. It still impacts us today, and it's going to impact us for a long time. Colonialism was one of the worst things that happened. Oh, Randolph, do you not understand what's going on? You just selected the last item. Did you look? It's totally okay. It's basically we're looking through these posts and seeing who is being the arsehole, whether it is the poster that put it in there or the OP, the original poster that put it in there, or whether it is the people they're talking about. They could all be being arseholes. None of them might be arseholes. It all depends. So we're just stuffing around and looking at these situations and seeing who is in the right, who's in the wrong, just for giggles, basically, because it's all anonymous and our opinions aren't going to matter one way or the other. So it's just a, hey, check this out. Is this But yeah, I agree, man. No, there'll be no revising vote. Everyone sucks here. So everyone. Okay. Everyone. Yeah, so look, it's not my idea, Big Bang Mama. I'll be honest, I stole it off somebody else, so it's certainly not my idea. You just downvoted? Wow. Wow. Thanks, Richard. Thanks, mate. The vote. Yeah. Cheers, buddy. Cheers. Well, I mean, that'll about do it. It's been a blast, everybody. Yeah, and leave an upvote if you can. Subscribe if you're not already, because I really do appreciate those subscriptions coming in. I love seeing you all. I love that the bots are still following me, and I can't get them out of my life, apparently. Apparently, beautiful girls are there, but not there anymore. Goodbye. Yeah, so it's been wonderful having you with us. I want to give a big shout out to everybody. Bling Sister, you just joined at the last opportune moment there, mate, but you're always welcome. It was good fun. Thank you to Tyne and Megan and Maya and Randolph and Richard and everybody else, Buster and everybody that's come along. It's been a blast, and I've had a good time. So thank you so much. I'll be back next week with another one. If you've enjoyed yourself, share it with a friend, and we can have a great time together going through the most petty and unimpactful situations to anybody's lives to see who has been the arsehole. Well, usually, I mean, we had a bit of a dark day last week, but hopefully. Yeah, it's been great. Love you all. Take care. Be kind to yourselves and to each other. Bye-bye.